One more second. Shabbat Shalom, Mevorach everyone. I'll talk about inclusivity. They're coming. The candles are coming. We started a new tradition that is that when we are starting the service, I move them. I'll take it. It's full. Did you put wine? So I'd like to ask you to turn off your phones as we are going to start our service. I want to share something with you about this Kabbalat Shabbat, this Friday night Shabbos. We usually start singing, but this is a very special Shabbat. It's not only a Shabbat in which we are welcoming some friends that are coming and have come from far away. Also, in this family service, in this Kabbalat Shabbat, we'll be thinking about the month of awareness toward disabilities and inclusivity in the Jewish calendar. And when we think about inclusivity, we think a lot about how we all enter under our tent, how we all have space in this communal home that we build together. So we will start with the words of Inematov, how beautiful it is for all of us to come together and to celebrate Shabbat as community.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
You can clap it a bit. And as we start this Shabbat together, we take a look around and we recognize the beautiful tent, the beautiful home that we built together. And you might want to look around and say good Shabbos to each other. Shabbat Shalom. And in
Good job.
this context of inclusivity, we often ask ourselves if there is enough space in our tent, if this or that person fit our tent. And I think that one of the things that we are starting to learn is that we need to extend our tents. And we hope that our community, the community that we build together, is open wide enough, extensive enough, so each of us can find his, her, their own place. As we enter this space that holds all of us together, but more than that, we create a sacred space together. We'll say, Ine matov umanaim v'shasel, and then we are going to recognize the space. Matovu alecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Israel. Put it the other way around. Good. Yes. I'd like to invite Elaine Asa to light Shabbos candles with us in this special Shabbat in which our community will be acknowledging her 80th birthday. How many birthdays have you shared at TVT, Elaine?
What?
How many birthdays have you?
Only two. This is my second that I've celebrated. That's it. The last one in October and this one. Now, how many? I'm 80. You're right. I've
Read the room, Elaine. How many? So I think she has spent like more than 40 birthdays at TVT. Like, okay, we never celebrated it, but besides the fact that we never celebrated, and we all feel guilty. For
No, this is the first one at TBT. Yes.
For how many years have you been in the community?
Since 1966, when Chaim and I arrived from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
So to my point, lots of birthdays. And she's going to be celebrating with us her 80th birthday tomorrow. And one of the reasons that Cantor Diego is with us is because, were you 60 years ago in Argentina? No. but Elaine and Rev Chaim keep a very close relationship with the community in Argentina. And Diego is a product and a Cantor of the community, from the community that Rev Chaim founded. So he came to join us and to lead us in bring a little bit of the music that you like and you love for tomorrow's celebration. And now, yes, let's light Shabbat candles.
Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos. We'll now turn our series to page 130. We welcome Shabbat. We walk toward Shabbat with joy. And if you feel that like clapping, or if you feel like jumping, or singing, or dancing, they are all those expressions are welcome. Page 130, Lechun Ranena. Page 131, Shiro Adonai, and you might want to follow Gabi as it's called the surfer Shiro, because it has
Yes.
a dance and it goes like surfing.
Oh, yes. Shiru, shir hallelu, shir hallelu, shir hallelujah. Shiru, shir hallelu, shir hallelujah. Shiru, 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 shir chadash. Shiru, 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 shir chadash. Shiru, 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 shir chadash. L'Adonai. Shiru, shir hallelu, shir hallelu, shir hallelujah. Shiru, shir hallelu, shir hallelujah. Shiru, 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 shir chadash. Shiru, 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 shir chadash. Shiru, 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 shir chadash. L'Adonai. Shiru, shir hallelu, shir hallelu, shir hallelujah. Shiru, shir hallelu, shir hallelujah.
And as we get closer to be fully ready, fully prepared to welcome Shabbat, in Shabbat we take some time, we take a moment to think about the things that we love very much. Try to think of something that you do during your week that you really, really love. Can you think of something that is important to you? So in Shabbat, we try to think about the days of the week, the things that we do, and we try to look at them, all those things we do, with love. And we look at ourselves with love. We think of our lives with love. I want to share with you something. We are going to sing a poem that was written a very long time ago and thinks of Shabbat almost as the most loving day in the entire world. And as we think of that day with love in our hearts, maybe by the middle of that song, we will stand up and we will try to dance together. So when you see me, that I will stand up and I will try to dance, join me. We're going to dance and we're going to welcome Shabbat with our legs and with dance and with our voices. We now turn our Sidurim to page 138 for Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. lecha dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. שמר וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולעילה. lecha dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. lecha dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. lecha dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. lecha dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. lecha dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בא הולך קומי אורי, אורי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. lecha dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. lecha dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. lecha dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום את נבלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה,
Lecha dodi, לקראת הלילה, פני שבת, וקבל לילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקרב אליו.
We can welcome Shabbat. Shabbat is among us. Don't sit, stay, remain standing for one more moment. And now that we are dancing, we are standing on our feet. We'll take one more moment to acknowledge each other, look aside, look around, say good Shabbos. And there's one more psalm, D minor. One more psalm, Psalm 92, we dedicate to Shabbat. One more song, Psalm 92, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, צדיק כתמר.
Okay. Tzadik katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzadik katamar yifrach, tzadik katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzadik katamar yifrach. Ke'eres balbanon yizke, ke'eres balbanon yizke, ke'eres balbanon yizke, yizke. Ke'eres balbanon yizke, ke'eres balbanon yizke, ke'eres balbanon yizke, yizke. Tzadik katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzadik katamar yifrach, tzadik katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzadik katamar yifrach. Ke'eres balbanon yizke, ke'eres balbanon yizke, ke'eres balbanon yizke, yizke. Ke'eres balbanon yizke, ke'eres balbanon yizke, ke'eres balbanon yizke, yizke. Tzadik katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzadik katamar yifrach, tzadik katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzadik katamar yifrach. Ke'eres balbanon yizke, ke'eres balbanon yizke, ke'eres balbanon yizke, yizke. Ke'eres balbanon yizke, ke'eres balbanon yizke, ke'eres balbanon yizke, yizke. Thank you.
And now when we are feeling Shabbat in our bodies, we turn our Sidurim to page 146. We turn our Sidurim to page 146. And for those that sat, I'm so sorry, but we invite you to rise in your spirits and your legs. We invite you to lift up yourself as we turn our Sidurim to page 146 for Baruch.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated.
Just now. Did you want to introduce? Okay. Ryan, are you ready to help me lead the Ma'ariv Aravim?
Yes.
Thank you. Excellent. So we start. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
What?
Borei yom v'layla, kolel or mipnei choshech, kolel or mipnei choshech, וחושך בפני אור. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. יום בלילה גולל אור מפני חושך, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור.
ומבדיל יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי בקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, אמרי ורבי.
Amen.
And as we start preparing for the Shema, I know that some of you learned this week how to chant the Shema with signs. If you are one of those that learn how to chant the Shema with signs,
So if you're in guest share with me, we learned how to do the Shema in sign language. So Noah, come help me. Everybody in guest share, come help me. Come help me with the sign language. Awesome. Awesome, thank you. So here, I'll be right here. Okay?
and as we prepare for the Shema, I want to invite everyone to take just a little moment to think about something that makes you feel deeply loved. The Shema comes after a moment of realization in which we acknowledge that the entire world was created for us, for me, for you. And from that experience of unconditional, eternal love is that we can say that God is one and that we are one with God. So once again, I invite you to think of something that makes you feel deeply loved. Try to picture it. Try to hold it for a moment. And now I invite you to take a deep breath and become one.
Ready?
שבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Watch me.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Awesome job.
You may be seated. On page 154. It's written somewhere here, Ari, that you are chanting Be'afta. Take your time. Here's Ari. You can follow Ari on page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי V'tem kedoshim Elohechem.
Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. אמת באמונה כל סוד וקיים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואין זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו. When your children witness your presence, they praise your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moshe, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices with joy. Who is like you, O God, mi kamocha va'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'edar va'kodesh. And as we think of the blessing for redemption, as we think of the blessing for redemption, as we think of this mi kamocha, we very often think of finding freedom, finding the ability to overcome and deal with our obstacles in life. And I think that in this Shabbat, in which we are trying to think of the need that we have to acknowledge the fact that our congregations, our communities need to be a bit more expansive, need to find space for everyone. We think of the limitations that we have in our own perception, the limitations that hold us captive and make us define fellow human beings, not by how they define themselves, but rather by objectifying them with our limitations. We ask and we try to overcome that obstacle that we have within our eyes. ונאמר כפניו אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גואל Israel.
Amen.
We turn our Siddur to page 160. Page 160, the blessing for inner peace, Ashkevenu.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomrenu lechayim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomrenu lechayim ufros aleinu. Sukkot shlomecha b'tavnenu b'tzah tovamim lefanecha. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'avidenu shomrenu lechayim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'avidenu shomrenu lechayim ushmor tzedenu. Uboenu לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם.
All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for my people to say that we don't want to fight no more, there will no more war, and the people will say,
One day, 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 one day.
Shalom.
One day, one day,
שומרנו לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש שוקת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over the holy city of Jerusalem. Amen. Page 162.
רות בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עדי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, לדורותם ברית עולם.
We'll now turn our series to page 164. We invite you to please rise, your spirit in your legs, as we dedicate a few moments for personal prayer, for Tfilat Amidah. We invite you to follow along the words of our tradition, or alternatively, to seek, to search the words of your heart. We don't mind about the rush, the noise that comes from children. Don't worry about your children, worry about yourself for a few moments. Try to find a moment of silence, of prayer, of meditation for yourself. We're on page 164.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
ולרצון עם ברייפי, הגיון ליבי, לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. We're at the bottom of page 180 for the blessing for peace, so say shalom.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו.
עושה
שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. הוא יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם.
יעשה שלום,
יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. At the end of תפילת עמידה, we take a moment, one more moment for one more prayer as we think of all those that are dealing with illness. We think of those dealing with illness in their bodies, in their souls. We think of those dealing with addictions. We invite you to bring the names of those you are thinking of in this Erev Shabbat. If you are here in person, you can share those names here. Just say them out loud. Say them to yourself. And if you are connecting with us in Zoom, YouTube, or Facebook, we invite you to write down the names of those you are praying for as we turn our Siurim to page 371 for מי שברך.
מי שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us
them, to all of you, to all of us. רפואה שלמה והחלמה מהירה, a complete and a fast recovery. And let us say,
Amen.
טוב, Rachel, here you are. So, it's Torah time, and in this Erev Shabbat, Rachel will be sharing a story with us. So we'd like to invite, until Rachel is fully done with her microphone, we'll skip on her behalf. I will speak on her behalf, and
Yes,
we'd like to
please.
invite everyone to get closer to Rachel.
Perfect.
If you're under
Thank
the
you.
age of 85, we invite you to get closer to Rachel.
I'm so sorry. I kicked you out.
Come on, Sammy, come here. I miss you.
And if you aren't up here with me and you can't see the photos, I do have the book up on the screen as well. So I don't know how many
What's
of you...
the message, Rachel?
What?
What's the message?
What do you mean, what's the
Like
message?
screams instead of real books. No, I'm kidding.
I'm trying to make sure that people don't have to be sitting right up here to be able to see the
It's
book.
a joke, Rachel.
But I wanted to ask everybody, how many of you in here know that this is actually the 13th year of Jewish Disability Awareness, Acceptance, and Inclusion Month? Exactly. So that was something I found out a couple weeks ago, was that February is Jewish Disability Acceptance, Awareness, and Inclusion Month. And I wanted to, that's why we're doing all these things this evening during Shabbat, and I wanted to let everybody know that it's not just a one-time thing. I really want to encourage our community to help me form an inclusion committee and use this month and this Shabbat as a jumping off point. So if anybody would like to reach out to me about that later on, please connect with me. My email is on our website.
And can we give 2 examples of something that we have done
Yes.
and something that we need to do?
Yes.
So a year ago, not the real year, like 2 years ago, but pandemic counts as one. So 2 years ago, we worked very hard with our board of directors to have a gender-neutral bathroom activity, and it's restroom, sorry, and it's right there, and we haven't shared that enough. So I think people need to know, and we need to put signs that we have a gender-neutral restroom. And the other thing that some of us are thinking or trying to put together, we don't have a ramp in our bima. So our bima cannot be reached or cannot be used for people by people with disabilities. So one of the projects that we are constantly discussing is how very soon, and hopefully it's going to happen very soon, a ramp will be a part of our bima. There are many, many things that we need to adjust, and until we don't bump into them, we don't think about them. So it's important for us as a community to start trying to expand our perspective and perception. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you. And with that being said, I have this story to share. It's called In My Kahila, a book about friends with disabilities, written by Gabrielle Kaplan-Mayer, illustrated by Robin Fradkin Matthews. And I did edit one word in here. It references a classroom, but I'm going to change it and say the word temple. In the Jewish tradition, we learn that it's important to be part of a community, or kahila in Hebrew. It's great to get to know all kinds of friends. Everyone in our temple is part of our kahila. All of the kids, the teachers, the rabbis, the parents, aides who help us, therapists who come to help kids, and also service animals who may come to synagogue. In a kahila, everyone is included and feels like they belong. A kahila is a place where we act with chesed, with kindness to one another, where we treat each other with kavod, respect, and where we understand that each of us is a unique creation. In this little picture, it says, Maya, when you're done with the scissors, may I use them? Sure, I'm almost finished. Look around at all of the different friends in your temple that we have here tonight. Just look around for a moment. Each of you is wonderful. In the Jewish tradition, we learn that every human being is created with different kinds of strengths and challenges. Wow, you're really good at the monkey bars. Who here is good at the monkey bars? I was once upon a time. Thank you. Adam Yechidi Nivra is Hebrew for every person is a unique creation. And look at these two friends. On your mark, get set, go. How many of you like to race when you're on the playground? That's the most fun race, when you can race against your mommy too. Some people use their feet to walk or run, and some use a wheelchair or a walker. Some people use sign language or talk, and some people use a communication device. This device will say the words that a person selects. For some people, everyday sounds are too loud. They might wear headphones so that the noises won't bother them. Some people have service dogs who help them. Service dogs are hard-working animals. Here in this picture it says, "What is your dog Penny doing?" She's checking to make sure my blood sugar level is okay. She can tell just by how the air around me smells. Some people need extra help learning to read, write, or do math. These are just some ways that people may be different. And here this little blurb says, "Sarah, Miss Alana's here to read with you." Friends have some things in common and some things that are different. I love playing cards. Me too. In the Jewish tradition, we learn that it's important to treat one another with chesed, love and kindness, whether we have things in common or not. It's important to think about how you like to be treated and treat everyone that way. I don't really like playing card games. I like cards, but it's okay. We can do something else. Do you like to draw? Me too. I know lots of our friends sitting here with me love to draw. I've seen your drawings too. When we use thoughtful words, we are being kind. You can tell someone what you really appreciate about them. These kinds of words express hesed. I love listening to you whistle. You are so good at it. Our Jewish tradition teaches, what is hurtful to you, do not do to others. We show chesed when we remember to be helpful and not hurtful with our words and our actions. I bet you could whistle lots of different songs. We can show chesed by paying attention to what would make people feel included. For example, if you see someone who's all by themselves at lunch or at recess or at temple, you can act with chesed by going over to join them. Maya looks like she might not be having much fun. We should ask her if she wants to play. When you take time to understand friends who are different from you, you are showing kindness, chesed. Hey, Maya, do you want to play with us? Well, I can't climb the stairs or the monkey bar ladder. Oh, I didn't think of that. Let's find something we can do together. In the Jewish tradition, we learn that it's important to treat one another with kavod, respect or honor. It's time for a story. Do you want me to push you? We can act with kavod by choosing our words carefully. We can act with kavod by thinking before we act. Thanks for asking. I will go over by myself. Let's sit next to each other. A kehillah is not a perfect place. There might be someone who is feeling sad, having a hard time, or who makes a mistake. Maya, please don't pet Penny while she's working. But in a kehillah, we work together to make things better. We help each other with chesed and kavod, kindness and respect. Oops, I forgot, I'm sorry. It's okay, just try to remember to ask me first next time. We are happy that we are all part of this kehillah. Together, we are making our world a better place. Yes.
Thank you, Rachel. I'd like to invite you to turn your Siurim now to page 588. For Aleinu Leshaveach, Be'ashevota, please rise.
Be'ashevota
Be'ashevota
elevavecha
Elevavecha
ki Adonai
Ki Adonai
hu ha'Elohim
אל לבביך.
כי אדוני
כי אדוני
הוא האלוהים. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד. ושמו
Maybe see the. We'll take a moment now. In our family service, we acknowledge also simchas, but before we do so, we'll take a moment and we'll acknowledge those simchas next to Kiddush. We'll take a moment to acknowledge those that are dealing with mourning, those that are carrying the memory of someone who has passed away during the last 7 days, Shiva, during the last 30 days, Shloshim, during the cycle of the first year, this last year, Rabbi Art Levim, and Michael Riff, your brother. And we also acknowledge those that are remembering a yortzeit this week, the anniversary of someone's passing by this time of the year in years past. Elaine? Thank you. And we, of course, invite those connecting us through Zoom to share the names of those that you are remembering. And of course, if you are connecting with us in YouTube or Facebook, we encourage you to share the names of those that you are remembering as well. We're on page 598 for Kaddish Avelim, Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
אמן.
בעלמא דברה חירותי בהמליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב. ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר, ויתרומם, ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה. ואמירם בעלמה, ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. May the memories of your dear ones be always a blessing in your life. יהיה זכרם ברוך. You may be seated. So, it is our tradition to acknowledge birthdays and anniversaries or general simchas during family service. So, if you have a simcha in the month of February that you'd like to share with the community, please let us know. No, do you have any simcha? You? No. 24 is your birthday, and you are turning 7 years old on the 24th of February. Congratulations, Noah. And Rabbi Miriam?
I'm going to be 7 like him on the 21st.
The 7 is next year for you. The big 7, no? Just saying. Yes, you are. So not that I'm checking, but congratulations. You know, I most of the time don't remember numbers, but sometimes I do. Michael?
Yes, I have a birthday
On the 27th, Masalto, do you want to tell us how old you're turning?
Sure, I will be 17.
Congratulations. Zach Richter. So when you say your name, woo! Sean is turning 38. Congratulations, and
Jeff
47 on the 21st. And he has a birthday this year. And it counts. It counts. It does count, Rael. And yeah, if this year is your birthday, yes. And you're standing, yes. Ooh, congratulations.
Mazel tov.
Are we missing any simcha?
I have one.
Yes, you have a simcha. Go.
I do. I was accepted into Hebrew University's Master of Jewish Education program.
So we always felt that Gabi was a master. Now we know she's going to be.
Both.
Why don't you?
We'll
We
talk.
encourage you to have this conversation during the Kiddush.
That's so wonderful to hear. Oh, good. Can't wait.
Now that we all know. But that's the beauty of community, right? Like we need to share sometimes information. So with all the simchas being acknowledged, we invite all those that have a simcha and you share a simcha, please write. We want to see you. And if you are standing next to someone who has a simcha, don't leave them alone. So as we say, Shechayenu v'kimanu v'gianu l'zman hazeh, we acknowledge and celebrate this time in life. We celebrate time in life.
ברוך אתה, אדוני אלוהינו, מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה, אדוני אלוהינו, מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
So we have someone doing Kiddush, Rachel. John Goldman, there is a Kiddush card there. We invite you to turn your Siorim while you are standing to page 122 for Kiddush Leyom HaShabbat.
You are more than
You
welcome.
have a microphone? Will you give a microphone?
It's on the
Gabriel,
floor.
you have. You do by Julio, I do by Julio.
There you go.
I do by Julio, you do. בערב ויבוקר יום השישי, ויחול השמיים בארץ בכל צבאם, ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי חבריי וחברותיי.
לחיים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הגלי לנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תהילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל עמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת.
And L'chaim. And as we conclude our service, we make sure that nobody leaves this space without a blessing. We make sure that we think of those that their love have brought us to this moment, we think of those that we have partnered in their journeys. Need to come from that side.
She's my adopted daughter when I can't get one.
Plenty of space.
We
Okay.
make sure that we extend our hands also toward those that might not be here, and we allow those that are not necessarily standing with us in this moment, allow their love to extend its hands all the way to us.
We say over our sons the words that our ancestors said over Ephraim and Manasseh, the grandsons of Joseph. Please repeat after me if you have a son. Yisimcha, Elohim, Ke'Ephraim, V'chi Manasseh. May God make you to be like the sons Ephraim and Manasseh. And if you have a daughter, I have my adopted Ima here. We say over our daughters,
Yasimech, Elohim, Kesarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. May God make you like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah.
and over all of our children, wherever they may be, we say, Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom.
Yevarechem Adonai v'yishmerechem. Ya'er Adonai panav elechem v'chunechem. Yisa Adonai panav elechem v'yasem lechem shalom. V'yasem lechem shalom. V'yasem lechem shalom.
Adonai os le'amav iten, Adonai yevarech et amo b'shalom. May God bless all of us with wholeness, with the ability to create whole lives and to find peace. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, mevorach everyone.
To be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.